The tension is palpable as AC Milan return to the pitch, fresh off the international break, with their eyes set on securing all 3 points against Bologna at the iconic San Siro. After an initially rocky start to the season, Milan stabilized their campaign with a smart 2-0 triumph over Lecce. However, with the transfer window finally closing and players coming back, some jet-lagged, some just settling into the squad, the landscape has shifted quickly. But here's where things get interesting. Milan's lineup might look very different, and there's debate about whether the changes are exactly what this team needs. During the pre-match press conference, Max Allegri laid it out plainly. Bologna are no longer just the plucky underdogs. He praised his squad's hard work in recent days and hinted at Adrien Rabiot's growing influence, which could shake up the midfield dynamic. Match details was Sunday, September 13. Kickoff 20:45 CEST. Referee Matteo Marcinero. When reviewing Milan's squad availability, only 2 injuries seem like a relief. Until you realize the squad is already a bit light this year, and it's not just any absentees. Ardon, Jashari, and especially the influential Rafael Leao are missing. Leao's return has been pushed back due to a tricky muscle injury. Fans will likely have to wait until the big showdown with Napoli to see him again. It's a reminder of just how fine the margins are at the top of Serie A. All isn't doom and gloom, though. Allegri still boasts a talented group. Yet with national team call-ups and long flights, some players might be feeling the effects. Then there's the matter of late transfer arrivals. Could we see some unfamiliar names leapfrog straight into first-team action? Rumors swirl that Adrien Rabiot could start immediately, and Allegri confirmed Christopher Nkunku is only fit enough for half an hour. Defensive addition Koni de Winter is also being considered as a stand-in for Strahinja Pavlovic. In defense, Mike Maignan, Fikayo Tomori, and Matteo Gabbia are near certain starters. Luka Modric is expected to command the midfield, joined by Alexis Saelemaekers and Pervis Estupiñán on the wings. Up front, Santiago Giménez appears locked in. But who will partner him? The battle for the other spot is open. Will it be Ruben Loftus-Cheek, or might Christian Pulisic get the nod? Perhaps shifting Loftus-Cheek back to the midfield at the expense of Youssouf Fofana? Samuel Ricci likely remains on the bench. Probable Milan 11. 3-5-2. Maignan, Tomori, Gabbia, De Winter, Saelemaekers, Loftus-Cheek, Modric, Rabiot, Fofana, Estupiñán, Pulisic, Giménez. The opponents, Bologna. Let's not forget, Bologna are not to be underestimated. Just last season, they delivered a painful blow to Milan in the Coppa Italia final. Under Vincenzo Italiano, who was retained over the summer, Bologna are building for the long haul, a strategy that could pay off big. But did Bologna do enough in the transfer market to keep pace after losing stars like Dan Nadoy and Sam Buchema? That's a hot topic among fans. New arrivals Martin Vitek, Torbjorn Hegem, and Jonathan Rowe hope to plug the gaps. And so far, the team hasn't lost much in terms of quality. Their season so far has mirrored Milan's. Started with a narrow 1-0 defeat to Roma, then bounced back to beat Como by the same scoreline. Their games haven't exactly been goal fests. Could this hint at a more defensive-minded approach? Too soon to say. Riccardo Orsolini is already off the mark for Bologna, and after his exploits against Milan last season, all eyes are on him. Meanwhile, it's a reunion of sorts, as Federico Bernardeschi returns to Serie A after his time in Toronto. However, injuries mean new signing Ciro Immobile and ex-Milan man Tommaso Pobega miss out. Expected Bologna 11, 4-2-3-1, Skorupski, Zortea, Vidic, Hegem, Lykogiannis, Ferguson, Freuler, Orsolini, Bernardeschi, Cambiaghi. Head-to-head, a rivalry with history. Milan versus Bologna has occurred 189 times, with the Rossoneri claiming 88 victories to Bologna's 54, alongside 44 draws. The fixture has a sense of tradition and unpredictability. Favorites don't always come out on top. Last time they met in the Cup, Bologna triumphed through Dan Nadoy's decisive goal. But in their last league face-off, Milan rallied from behind, thanks to a Giménez brace and a Pulisic strike. Stat Corner. Know the numbers before you watch. Milan have hosted Bologna 87 times at San Siro in official matches, 51 home wins, 22 draws, 14 Bologna victories. Allegri's sides have faced Italianos 8 times, with the Milan boss winning 6, drawing once, and losing once. Notably, 5 of those wins were narrow 1-0 affairs. Milan clinched their 10th Scudetto versus Bologna at San Siro back in 1979 after a 0-0 draw. Santiago Jimenez's only Serie A double, it came against Bologna in a 3-1 Milan win. Christian Pulisic has scored 11 goals for Milan in the 2025 calendar year, topping the team charts. Rafael Leao trails with 7, and Jimenez Reinders are tied for third with 6 each. Ruben Loftus-Cheek broke his scoring drought for Milan last week versus Lecce, his first since March against Fiorentina. Adrien Rabiot, with 126 appearances, is 6th among Allegri's most used active players, behind names like Cuadrado and Dybala. Bologna last beat Milan at San Siro in 2015-16. Since then, the Rossoneri have won 7 and drawn 2 of their 9 home matches against the Emilian side. Orsolini sits 15th on Bologna's all-time scoring list and could jump 2 spots with a good performance. What needs to step up? For Milan, Santiago Jimenez carries the weight of expectation. Having